Hi. One of the most serious and least talked about consequences of the last 1 year has been children. Between 1st April 2020 and 5th of June this year, that's about a year plus, more than 30,000 children, the number is currently 30,071 children, have either lost one parent or both or were abandoned. Of these, at least 9,346 children suffered because their family was impacted by Covid-19 in some way. The National Commission for Protection of Child Rights submitted this data to the Supreme Court recently. Now, these are likely undercounts given the overall undercounting of Covid-19 deaths and the fact that a few states are yet to submit this data. So, many more children are likely to have been impacted. My name is Anubha Bhonsle, and in this video, made in collaboration with Partnerships for Impact, I'm keen that we understand the extent of this tragedy, how our systems are coping, and what you can do to help. Now, the Supreme Court has been hearing a suo motu case about children impacted by Covid-19. And a series of directives have come. This includes directions to governments that education of such children should not be impacted. In fact, the Centre has put forward the PM Cares for Children scheme, and some of the announcements that have been made include free education to the child till 18 in government schools, fees for private schools through PM Cares, and a corpus of 10 lakh rupees when the child turns 18. Now, the modalities on how these children are being identified and how these schemes will be implemented is still not completely in public domain. Though we do know that district magistrates will be empowered to take all decisions regarding welfare of children impacted by Covid-19. Now, as you can imagine, accurate data collection and transparency is of the essence here, but more importantly, the well-being of the child. Of the children who have lost a parent or both due to Covid-19 till about May end, 6,612 children are currently living with single parents. 1,221 are with court-appointed or testamentary guardians. These can be siblings or any fit person as decided by the courts. 985 are now living with an extended family member, and some children did not have either of these options. So they've been put in institutional care as per the Juvenile Justice Act. This situation arises when authorities cannot find anyone to take immediate care and custody of the child. So these children could be moved to children's homes, orphanages, or special adoption agencies, open shelter homes, etc. At this point, a few things to keep in mind. If you come across or know of a child who has lost both parents to Covid-19 or is temporarily separated from them, please call 1098 and inform them about the child's whereabouts. This is the National Childline number. If you can't get through 1098, you can also reach out to the NCPCR helpline. The number is 1-800-121-2830, flashing on your screen. Your state government's dedicated child helpline number, we'll leave a link of that in the description with all these other numbers, the number of your district child protection officer, any police officer, a public servant, a non-governmental organization. Under the Juvenile Justice Act, these people will notify the state's Child Welfare Committee within 24 hours about a child who is in need of care. Parents, guardians, and close family members will then be traced. This is step one. Keep taking care of the child meanwhile. Coming to children who've lost both parents. Now remember, no one can simply adopt them just by taking them home. Adoption is a legal process, so please do not share sensitive private details of such children on social media. This is a punishable offense and can potentially be very dangerous for the children. So if you see a message or a post roughly along these lines, please reach out to the person and ask them to take it down. And if they still don't do so, you can report the message.
This week, the Supreme Court has taken cognizance of such messages. It has ordered states and union territories to take action against NGOs and individuals indulging in illegal adoptions. Anyone collecting funds in the name of affected children by disclosing their identity, and anyone inviting interested persons to adopt such children. The important thing to remember is not every child who loses both parents becomes eligible for adoption. First comes guardianship. The parents of a child may have appointed a testamentary guardian who shall take responsibility of their child after their death. And if none exist, CWC members reach out to extended family members or adult siblings who are suitable and willing to become guardians of the child. Once legally appointed as a guardian by a court, they take responsibility for the child till they turn 18 and take all decisions on their behalf for protecting the interest of the child and their property. So this includes managing all movable and immovable property that the child may have inherited. Only when no guardian is found, the committee places the child in institutional care and then declares the child legally free for adoption. In this duration, if you are intimately known to the child, like a close family friend, you can take care of the child at your home, but after informing the authorities. It is legally advised that you apply for a foster care certificate to the CWC. If they approve, they will place the child with you for the purpose of alternate care in the domestic environment of a family. So you will become responsible for providing education, health, and nutrition to the child and ensure their overall well-being. This is temporary. That is, you can take care of the child as foster care only until the CWC takes a final call on whether the child will be put under someone's guardianship or whether the child will be entered into the adoption system. Then there is a completely separate process through the Central Adoption Resource Authority, or CARA, to place the child with adoptive parents and legally recognize the adoption. There are no shortcuts to this. It can be a time-consuming process which has further slowed down because of the pandemic. Lockdowns and travel restrictions have meant that adoptive parents who had already been matched with a child just before the pandemic could not meet the child and bring them home. And other parents who were still in the process of being matched, their waiting period got extended.
Now, this information is not to scare you off the process. You can do a lot for children, even if you're not eligible or do not want to be a guardian or a foster parent. If you know of such a child who has lost parents to COVID-19 or is temporarily separated from them because, say, both of them are in the hospital, inform the relevant authorities. 1098. You must take care of them. You can shelter them temporarily. Take care of them, make sure they have everything that they need, talk to them, reassure them. In fact, you can also reach out to mental health professionals and organizations so the child, if he or she is old enough, can get some form of grief counseling or trauma counseling. In fact, Newsworthy, along with Save the Children, has created a detailed support guide if you want to help. It has do's and don'ts. It has all the helplines you can call and report cases to. It has a database of organizations that you can contribute to, let's say, support shelter or education or any other logistics. It has a list of mental health practitioners who've been verified who you can reach out to. We'll leave a link in the bio for all of this, but just one last aspect. Do not call these children COVID orphans. We leave it here. Thank you so much for your time.